just going to run through how to write an inequality from a number line. So just say this was 3 and it was an open circle and the arrow was pointing that way. There's 4 and there's 2 there. So when you're looking at all the numbers that are bigger than 3, you're looking at all the numbers there, but they're not equal to 3. That's why that's an open circle there. So when it's not equal to, it'll be an open circle. So when it's not equal to, it is an open circle. So what that equates to is the inequality sign that is going that way. And if you look at the arrow on there, the arrow points the same way as the inequality sign. So you write your x first, and then you go x is greater than, and x will be greater than 3. Okay. All right, so let's just look at another one. Let's go 4, that's 5, that's 3. Let's go closed circle, pointing all the numbers that way. So what we're looking for here is all the numbers that are less than 4, sorry. They are equal to 4, that's why that's a coloured in circle. So you notice with this one, what's happening here, it is pointing that way. That's what the arrow is pointing. If you put your x on this side, that would be all the numbers where x is less than 4. But it can also equal 4 because it has a coloured in circle there. Whereas this one was open, that means it can't equal 3. That's why it doesn't have an equal to sign there. Okay. So just have a think about these two. So that's -1, and it's going to go that way. See if you can write the inequality sign for that one. And 2, 3, and 1, and we'll make it like that. So have a think about what that is. Okay, so the first one is all the numbers that are less than -1, but not equal to -1. So that's a less than sign. See how it looks like an L? So it's L for less, and that's a greater than sign. That one's greater than. Less than points to the smaller numbers, greater than points to the positive numbers, less than points to the negative numbers. It's another way of thinking of it. So this is less than. See, that's the L, less than. So x is less than -1 because we want all of these numbers here, including decimals, fractions, -2, -2.5, -6.8, anything down that way that is less than -1. Okay, this one here, this one can equal to, but it has to be pointing this way, the same way as that arrow, because we want greater than. So we want x to be greater than or equal to 2. So all the numbers that are greater or equal to 2, like 3, 4, see how they're up here, 5, not 1, not 0, not anything down that side. We want all of the numbers that are up this way. Okay, so that's actually how you do less than or greater than. Now, how do you do in between? Okay, so if you have a solution that is 3 and 5, and let's say open circle, it ends up being in there, so it can't equal either of those two numbers, then that means an in between. So what you do is you write x in between the two inequality signs, because the x lies in between these two values. So like 4 or 3.5 or 4.5 or 4.9. So you go x is in between, but notice it's an open circle, so it can't equal the 5 and it can't equal the 3. So see how that is open circle? That's why it's got no equal sign on there. And this one for 5 is an open circle. That's why there's no equal sign there. The line is in between. See how the x is in between the two numbers? Okay, so have a think of another one. So let's go. We've got like this, -4 and 3. I'll make that one equal to, and this one open, and we're going in between those two numbers. So the x needs to be in between the two signs. Now when you're doing this one, see how the two signs, they point left. Both signs point left. Okay, so that means you put the -4 here and the 3 here. The 3 is an equal sign. It's an equal sign because it can equal 3 because that's coloured in. And the -4 has an open circle, therefore there's no equal sign. Okay, so let's just, I just want you to realise too, if you got a 3 and you got one going that way, see that's x is less than or equal to 3. Think of less than points left. Okay, and the greater than points right. So left, less than left. Now, I also want you just, if you go back up to this one, notice that this sign here, what this actually is reading, -4 is less than the x. That means x is greater than the -4, which it is. See, it's up here. And this is, but the x is less than or equal to the 3. And see, it is. It's less than or equal to the 3. Because that's basically going that way, and it's greater than that one. So we're talking about in between there. So there's your sign. Okay, so just a little quiz. Let's just look at, and we'll do some of them together. So that's -3 pointing that way. That's 4 pointing that way with a coloured in. That's -3, 4. Go in between. And let's go -3 going that way, 4, and we'll go 5. That's coloured in, and that can be in between. Okay, so we're going to write the inequalities for these ones. So the first one would be x is less than -3, and x is greater than or equal to 4. Notice this points the same way. It's coloured in, that's why it's got the equal sign. Points the same way as the inequality sign, and it's open to, so it's pointing left to the numbers that are less than -3, and this is pointing to the right, which is the numbers greater than 4. Okay, so when you're looking at that, see less than and greater than that number. This next one is in between, so when we're doing this, x is in between the 4 and the -3, but it's not equal to it. This here is x is less than -3 because it's pointing to the left and it's open. And this here is less than or equal to 5. See? Equal to because of that. And it's going that way. But it will be greater than or equal to 4. That way. So it's actually in between the two values from 4 to 5. So we're talking like 4.5, 4.6, 4.9. If we had a third one here, and we had that was 6, and that was like that, then you'd just add in x is greater than or equal to 6. So just remember, when you're doing these ones that are pointing out, the inequality sign and the arrow are actually the same. The less than points left, and the greater than points right, and the in-between ones, you put the x in between and you point both of the inequality signs to the left, and you put the numbers on the outside, and you actually stick the x in the middle, because the x is in between the two number values.